Thank you for tuning back into the Unrecognized podcast. Today we dive into an episode that is super cool, get a little bit of insight from an athlete's perspective. And man, this is going to be sweet. Let's do this. Alrighty, so welcome to the Unrecognized podcast. I am Maurice Schnacky, your host, and I have my friend from high school and just longtime friend, honestly. Our dads have been friends in the past and all sorts of cool stuff. So this is Pavel Nelson. He's down in, where are you, Pavel?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
Sweet. And I'm in 8 inches of snow as of today in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm in 8 inches of dust.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Crazy. Yeah. So how's it been down there? Like, what are you doing?
It's been pretty good. Just a lot of training.
Yeah.
Spent some time to myself this week just to rest, recuperate. Had a lot of training in the last 2 months, so taking a step back, letting the gains sink in.
Yeah.
Focusing on school while I can before I gotta hop on the bike.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much the story of the last 6 months, honestly.
Definitely. Yeah. Getting used to the new move and stuff. So when you say training and bike, for people that don't know, what are you training for and what kind of bike are you riding?
Okay, I'm a professional mountain biker on Bear National Team. It's cross country mountain biking. So when I race, I typically race for about 90 minutes. I'm planning to go to hopefully Canada. Was planning on going to Puerto Rico this year, but that kind of got shut down. Limited access to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Hoping to punch my ticket to get over to Europe in the next couple of years. So
it's crazy.
All the work is going towards hopefully some World Cups.
Right. Yeah, that'd be crazy. It's definitely coming from like Wisconsin here and like obviously a small town and all that. It's definitely a different industry to get into. And one, like, I know you used to race motocross. I did as well. And it's kind of like one of those things where you're kind of the only kids doing it, in a sense of maybe you have 5 buddies that do it as well. But like you with your mountain bike team, like that was a very new thing. I know to like our high school and stuff. So it's crazy that you've gotten so far with kind of having so little of a base, around you in a way.
Yeah, it's different that you don't have the community right away, but if you like to do it and you're committed enough, then it's up to you. You can take it however far you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm surrounded by community now, it's really nice, but at the same time, I'm not the fastest guy in town anymore. So a little bit humbling too.
Yeah. That's a good thing though. I mean, that's what are you? How old are you again?
18.
18. So that's a good thing that you're so young still.
Yeah. It's really motivating too.
Right. Yeah. It's like these guys are, that you're racing against, I'm sure are a little bit older, I'd assume, and some younger, I'm sure too, but.
Yeah, I'm actually at the youngest of my age brackets, so I'm technically racing as a U23. So I guess it's people born in 1998 or 1999 and younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the 18 is the first year eligible, or I guess 19 because it's a rolling age kind of thing.
Right.
I will be the youngest, and I will be racing against the fastest people. So
yeah,
it'll be an experience this year.
Yeah,
literally just to gain some.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's craziness in itself, honestly. Like that's like, being the youngest one racing against the fastest guys. Imagine, once you get 3 years of that same exact experience that you've gotten, before them in a way under your belt, that's going to be a benefit for sure throughout your career.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more like me too.
Right.
Just starting out first year. A lot of guys on my team are.
Yeah.
Just to experience year this year, just trying to make my mark, find my place.
Right.
See what I can do.
How has like COVID affected stuff, like obviously you're on a mountain bike, so it's kind of nice to be all outdoor type sport. But how is that? Is it difficult?
It really hasn't changed the training aspect of it.
Yeah.
The only downside is if I want to go buy a coffee or like a burrito or something
Right.
during my ride, I got to keep a mask with me,
Oh yeah.
which I guess I'm gonna have to do it because I really want to eat a
Right.
donut or an empanada or something. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Racing though, racing is a lot different.
Yeah.
Everything's off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to find out when I can race, where I can race,
Yeah.
and then coordinate it, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. How was I see like on your Instagram you did a lot of big tire like snow racing and stuff. How was it to just pick up and drop that? Because you obviously don't really have that opportunity in Arizona.
It's all right with me. I enjoyed it, but it was mainly just it was a lot of training
Right.
just to stay on the bike and stay racing in the
Right.
winter.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously now I can ride my bike the whole year,
Right.
so it's not too much of a problem.
Without a 5 inch wider tire, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so when did you initially like start like mountain biking? Like how did the career start on two wheels?
I don't know. I grew up watching my dad do it, so
Yeah.
I started doing it at a young age,
Yeah.
and I was never too competitive until I was about 14.
Mm-hmm.
Then things picked up, and 2018 rolls around. I kind of take my approach to a more national level, and I get a lot more serious,
Yeah.
trying to compete at the national level,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been going pretty good. So I found myself in a good place now.
Right. Yeah, it seems like it. So basically, you say 2018 is kind of when you hit that point of like, all right, I'm gonna do this like serious because I'm kind of seeing that I have some potential in it.
Yeah, it was 2018 was kind of my year where I wanted to shift my focus, make
Yeah.
it broaden my um I don't know the word for it.
Basically, just
Damn, I don't. Yeah.
basically
Yeah,
just
whatever you're thinking, yeah.
dive into it full time, kind of serious, more than you have before in a way.
Yeah, I was just looking at local stuff because I'm really competitive, and
Right.
it was a way for me to do that, but then I was like, I feel like I could be competitive on a higher level, so I tried
Right.
it out,
Yeah,
and I was,
for
and
sure.
that eventually got me here, obviously.
Yeah. What would you say like the hardest time that you had? Like once you started taking it serious, like what was one of the biggest like setbacks where you're like, dang, like I don't know if this is gonna work or like if you know maybe it was like when you saw how much competition there really is out there coming from such a small town of 8,000, but what would you say the
The
hardest time was?
competition, the competition didn't scare me
No.
because I was fully aware going into it that there were going to be some really fast people out there. Like
Right. Yep.
social media and everything kind of made me aware of that
Right.
at the time.
Gave you a little
But
buffer.
the hardest times, there was never really a time where I thought, I don't think I should be doing this.
Right.
It was more of it was more a question of like my mental state in how I was perceiving the work that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much training that you have to do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that happened when I started training was I wasn't seeing the same performance all the time.
Yeah.
And when you train for so many months at whatever kind of training intensity and volume and blah blah blah, you get your body gets really fatigued, and I wasn't kind of aware of that at the time because I
Right.
wasn't training that much before.
Yep.
So to see or my performance decline was a big mental stress for me, and it is all the time
Yeah.
because it continues to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to keep trusting the process, and it comes back up, it goes down. You just gotta believe in yourself.
Right, and
That's
stay
really the
consistent.
hardest part,
Mhm.
is not exactly knowing where you stand,
Yeah, definitely.
even in yourself too.
Mhm. Yeah, it's gotta be a mental game to keep yourself just pushed at maximum capacity because, it's kinda like your shadow's gonna haunt you in a way of
Yeah.
like, there's faster guys out there, but, if I'm putting in the work, I'm obviously gonna put myself ahead at some point because at some point,
Hmm.
people obviously let the mental game get ahead of them and you know, it kinda slips out from underneath them before they even realize it.
Yeah, it's that for sure. And part of part of the difficulty of training is how long everything takes.
Yeah,
You can't just say, I'm going to train really hard this week and be good, and I'm going to be good at the next race.
right.
And if you've been training a really, really, really long time, like you've been doing 20-hour weeks for 2 months,
Right.
it takes a month, at 2 months at least, to be back at like racing capacity, because
Yeah.
you do so much of that volume at lower intensity.
Right.
So your body, it forgets how to burn calories efficiently.
Right.
And you have to
Yeah.
work just as hard as at getting that power back as you did at building your fitness for so long before it.
Right. Yeah. It's craziness. What would you say like the best time? Like maybe your pro debut might be the my guess, but what would you say the best time would be?
There wasn't really one shining star.
Mhm.
There was a lot of little ones, which is, it's going to take a lot to go into detail on all of them.
Well, yeah.
Just a lot of time, but
Right.
it's
Maybe.
a lot of the little personal goals, like
Yeah.
especially little training goals that you hit.
Mhm.
Those are probably the most high times
Right.
to be an athlete, to just know that you're strong and
Mhm.
you're fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be sick for sure.
And then I never really got to experience too much of my training form, especially last year because we couldn't race.
Right.
But I hit a lot of little goals last year that I would have liked to seen be translated into racing.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the beauty of it too, is that you get to basically have this time to just you, it's just your
Hmm.
time to freaking really dive into the mental game, the physical game, and when racing's back to completely normal, it's like then you really get to apply everything that you just did for the past whatever it'll be by the time that happens again, year and a half, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah, nationals in 2019. That was definitely a goal. That was one of the bigger goals, where I just come off a terrible, just awful early season, and I changed my whole approach to training
Mhm.
probably 3-4 months before the event, and I finally got to see some results at
Right.
at nationals.
Yeah.
Some good form that I was used to before, but even stronger.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. What does the future look like for you, man?
Oh man, I don't know.
That's a hard one, but it's kind of interesting to ask and kind of see where do you see the future rather than telling me where it
Well,
is?
number one, going into next year and the next coming years, I I really want to stay on this team that I'm on. I
Mhm.
think it's a good spot, really good spot. We got a lot of good support. It definitely makes training more motivating. You're just more motivated to know that you're a part of something, and the organization is helping you out so
Yeah.
much in your career. Training wise, just keep pushing,
Mhm.
try to find new limits, set higher goals.
Yeah.
Um, Keep plugging away at school,
Yeah.
Make sure I
Gotta,
don't flunk out.
right?
Um,
That's a good brain exercise though. Keeps you all in tune.
Debatable.
Yeah, same. I shouldn't be telling you that.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
probably agree with the
you
other
weren't
side.
incredibly attentive in high school, buddy.
No, we don't gotta talk about that. It's hey,
Yeah, nah.
it's getting us. It's kind of cool to see like after high school. It's kind of cool like being friends in high school and then seeing where people end up. Even like now, what is it? It's 2 years after I graduated, so it's like it's just cool. It doesn't feel like a whole lot's
Yeah,
changed, when we have a conversation. But to be honest, like both of our freaking snow globes have been shook like crazy.
I'd say your snow globe got shook a little bit faster than mine,
Yeah,
and at more of a set point in time, but things are definitely shaking up.
yeah. I mean, it's sweet. You're down in Arizona. You're on your bike daily, or at least training daily, and just that's awesome. That's definitely what I hoped for you when I knew you back in high school before you had that opportunity, obviously.
Yeah. Were you like a kind of a promoter for your for Noah?
Yeah, basically I just went down and took a bunch of photos and videos and basically just learned the industry the best I could. I learned a lot, honestly. Just found myself like what I really enjoyed, because it's like, you ask yourself every day like what excites me the most about this, and that's really how you find like what you should be doing, and you're obviously going to benefit more in happiness and all that. So
Yeah, for sure.
I came back and just
Oh, okay.
I'm diving into my last semester here, and then who knows where we end up after that. But I just need to focus on that and get that out of the way. Honestly, super excited to just get that over with.
Yeah, me too. Mine's gonna take a little longer,
Yeah, what are you
but
going to school again for?
I'm a pre-business student right now, so I can pretty much do anything business related
Yeah,
when the time comes to apply for my professional major.
yeah.
But that isn't until I don't know, um, start of junior year,
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah,
late
that's
sophomore at the earliest,
yeah,
but
kind
probably
of
probably junior.
yeah. You're in the university, so it definitely takes a little longer, and they give you a little more general stuff before you get to the real meal of the experience.
Yeah, the generals, no, generals are not. Generals aren't generals aren't college.
For sure.
They're not even high school. It's in my opinion, it's just a waste.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can teach me what I need
Yeah.
and
Post
just let me get my
secondary,
degree,
right? Yep. Get out of there and do what you need to do after that.
make some money,
Yeah. So
stop
like
bumming around.
right. That's what these years of life are for though, right?
Bumming.
Yep. Just bumming. Like what's like the most eye-opening thing? Like I'm really interested to know too, just personally, like do you have like say a media day or something for your team where like you guys get together and kind of, or like what do you see kind of
No,
in that side?
no, there isn't really any media day because the athletes are scattered all across the country.
Yeah, right.
So there's really no getting together, but we do have weekly or bi-weekly Zoom calls,
Right.
and we just go over like what's happening, and
Right.
a lot of times we have like special guests on them, which is really cool because we get an insight from like other athletes.
Right. That are kind of further along in their careers and stuff.
Yeah, definitely share some experience and some knowledge with us, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what kind of this is all about, because who
Yeah.
knows what the next person down the line that listens and takes something from it and benefits heavily, maybe not, maybe so. Either way, it's just kind of fun. Other than that, anything else that you want to cover for the future or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I think that just pretty much sums up my whole 4-year plan,
Yeah,
honestly. School and training, and that's school, training, and bumming. That's
yeah.
that's my three things right now.
Yeah, that's all right though.
Yeah.
You heard him. He's freaking grinding down in Arizona. He's on the pedals, hard on the pedals, fast on the pedals. And honestly, I think what'll be coolest about this like interview slash podcast thing that we did will be to just catch up come, a year or few months, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
We'll meet again and kind of talk, and it'll be sweet to just kind of monitor and see, like, where the grind has taken you, because you're obviously super dedicated to the sport, and that's inspirational in itself. So definitely glad we got to talk, and it'll be sweet in the future.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Get this kid connected on your Instagram. What's your Instagram again?
Pav MTB.
Yeah, it's PAVMTB, correct?
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. And you're on the Bear national team. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super sick. Awesome, dude. Shout out to Pavel Nelson once again for coming in. This was a super cool episode. Tons of cool knowledge shared. Check out the next one coming out on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Check us out on Instagram, and make sure to check him out. Peace.